What's going on, everybody? A few things I want to talk about. It ain't gonna be a shouldn't be a long video. Um, the final story on the Greenwood shooting, folks. Uh, Now, I want you to know, according to them, from the minute the bad guy, started shooting his rifle, to the uh, to the minute that the good guy put the bad guy down, was 15 seconds. According to them, 15 seconds, and I'm sure it's all on cameras. There's cameras everywhere inside that mall. 15 seconds. Now they told us uh, that the bad guy he had a long gun. They kept saying a long gun, but now they came out and said it's a 223, which is an AR-15 round. But I still haven't heard if it was an AR-15 because there are other rifles that aren't AR platform that shoot the 223 and the 5.56 are the same, basically the same bullets. I've owned several of them, but anyway, in 15 seconds, the shooter come out of the bathroom with a rifle that's fed with a magazine. They claim so. He probably had at least 30 rounds in one magazine, but he came out of the bathroom and the bad guy shot 24 rounds in 15 seconds. The good guy shot 10 rounds in that 15 seconds. The bad guy, according to them, with his 24 rounds and his rifle, he only killed 3 and wounded 4, I guess. The good guy hit nobody but the bad guy with 8 bullets. 2 bullets, they're not saying where they went. 15 seconds, folks. 15 seconds. And the bad guy was at 40 yards away from the good guy. 40 freaking yards. It's bullshit. It's crazy talk, folks. It's crazy talk. More of these damn definitions of words that they're now going to, I guess they're just going to start changing the definitions to all words. So I guess we're all learning a new language. Makes no sense. But yeah, the new ones, now we'll go over a couple of the other ones. They're changing the definitions to the words female and girl so far. These are the ones I have found they're talking about. The word truth, and the word truth, the guy that's claiming that he needs the word truth changed because it's deeply transphobic, condescending, and rude. The word truth. And now, just this morning, folks, me and my wife, I just kicked on CNN for just a few minutes. And even me and my wife both busted up laughing. The new words they want to change the definitions to is inflation and recession. Folks, let me ask you something. Why would they have to change definitions of words? Why? To fit the sins of the new society? Is that why? They do it in order to confuse, control, and collapse this country. Hell, if you don't even know the definitions of the words they're using, how are you going to know what the hell they're saying? Now, with them going in and changing all these definitions, what, are we going to have to go back to school and learn all the new definitions again? They're destroying American English. They're destroying it. But words we're not allowed to say, words that upset people, words that are deeply transphobic and condescending and rude. I guess we'll be able to wave, and then a wave will become a, oh my, he waved at me with a bad attitude, or he waved at me and made me feel fear. The amount of lies, folks, that they tell us all the freaking time, and if you don't think they're telling us lies all the time, if you don't think almost everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie, I don't know what to tell you. But once you start figuring out, they're compulsive liars. They couldn't tell you the truth if they absolutely wanted to. I knew a guy like this out in Arizona. It didn't matter. I knew him. I knew his dad, his brothers and sisters, his mom, his girlfriend. I knew them all. I knew them all well. And he would stand and look at me and tell me a lie about one of them. I said, "Oh, really? Oh, okay." And then I go ask them. They're like, "No, I don't know where he came up with that shit." But this guy would lie if you asked him what his name was. He didn't even have to. He didn't have to. You could ask him what color is the sky, and it's just as blue as can be, and he'd say, "Gray." He would lie, and that's the way the government is. They cannot tell you the truth, and if they do, it's going to be mixed with so many lies you'll never understand it to be the truth coming out of them. It just sounds like more garbly goop what they throw out on you. Now, another thing, did you hear what they went and did? Oh, yeah. And this is what I always like, folks. They get to pick and choose who's going to benefit from certain benefits. It's like, they said, government's going to be giving out stimulus checks. Everybody's getting a stimulus check because of all that was happening in the last 3 years, and everybody's hurting, so everybody's getting stimulus checks. No, folks. Half of us in the country didn't get a dime of those stimulus checks. Half of us. They're always saying shit like this. Just like now. They had the First Lady, Kamala Harris, come out and had her telling everybody that these damn Corinthian federal student loans, which they named off several of them, like Everest University Online, Everest College of Phoenix, the Held College, Wyotech College. There was several of these colleges. Everybody that went to them, their student loans are either going to be canceled or they're put on hold. You don't have to pay for them. Well, they're finding out that these colleges were lying to the people. And just like they did me when I went to college, they tell you, you start asking about, well, when am I going to be able to get into doing this work, for what I'm going to school? We'll have you in the work. We'll have you working in the fields. We've got companies that are hiring people right out of our school. We'll have you working in the field before you even graduate. And shit. Never happens. You get your degree and you go out here and you start looking around for jobs. And people are asking you, do you have any work experience? Oh, no, I just went to school for 2 years to get this AA degree. And so they told me, and they said that would be considered work experience. And I would know a lot about what you guys want me to do. Oh, no work experience? Well, we can't hire you. That's what I was basically told. And I finally just walked away from it and said, hell with it, and went to try driving a semi again. I know people today, a lady that lives next door to me here, she just finished up, I think it was a year of classes doing something in the medical field, coding and billing or some coding, I think. But she finished up the classes and shit. She goes out there and starts looking. They're telling her the same thing. Well, you got to have work experience. Well, how can you get work experience if you can't get hired at it to get work experience? So then that makes the degree worthless. Well, that's why they're saying they're canceling, or not canceling. They haven't decided whether they're going to wipe them clean or just put them on forbearance or forbearance, I think it is, which means you don't have to make the payment. So, but that's something new, folks. But it's only for certain people. Again, only for certain people. Everything they do is for a certain group of people. And the whole thing that kills me is most of you don't even understand that. You guys think it went, and on all the news channels and everything, they're always saying, the majority of the American people say this, whatever it might be. Well, what the fuck do they mean, the majority of the people? They don't mean the majority of the people. They mean the majority of the people who vote. People in this country, 50% of us don't vote. 50% of us don't freaking pay federal income taxes. We don't do it. There's a reason for it. So right there, right off the bat, you're missing 50% of the population, of the working population. Boom, right off the top. So that knocks you down to only 50% of the people voting. Now, when you got majority of 50% of the people that vote, that's only 51% of 50%. So that's 26% of the entire population that votes chooses, they claim chooses and makes these decisions on who's elected. That's what they claim. 26% of the people of the United States control 74%. Does it make any fucking sense, folks? That's what your democracy is. And I'm tired of being included in your bullcrap, folks. I'm not a part of your elections. You don't ask me what I think about anything. But you make claims that 80% of the American people. No, you're wrong. The best numbers any of you people have is somewhere between about 50% tops. Because that's all who vote. That's all who play in all your little government games. And until everybody understands that 26%, that isn't even majority rule, folks. That's not even majority rule. That's not even a democracy. And by God, if they can't get enough people to vote that's going to represent all of us, then there ain't no laws they should be able to change or make or do anything. Because we're not all agreeing to this bullshit. This two-party paradigm you guys are wrapped up in is destroying your country. It's destroying your kids. The school systems are destroying your kids. The doctors are doing the same thing to everybody. If you trust a doctor today, I feel sorry for you. Because they're in cahoots with the rest of them right now. It's all about the money. And who's getting how much. You heard the Pelosi's, hell, they made, what was it, $31 million in the last 3 months. Insider trading, I think it was called. Nancy's husband. It's a reason why the government at one time, folks, could not force a product or a service on you in any way, shape, or form. That's why. Because if they can force a product on you, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go in there and invest all their money into masks, rubber gloves, vaccines, and everything. And then they're going to push it on the population. You see how it works? You see how Somebody making $175,000 a year can be a millionaire in a couple of years. You see how a president that's making about $500,000 a year can become a multi millionaire in a 4 year or an 8 year span. See how it works? That's your demonocracy, folks. Demonocracy is one letter away from that being the actual name. Well, folks, that's just my rant for tonight. God loves you, folks. And I'm telling you, they're not going to slow down on their bullshit. If you have not sought or found Jesus' path, I suggest you do it, because that's the only way you're going to make it out of this with your soul. Make no mistake about that. God loves you more than any of these clowns, more than any of them. And I love you as well. Till the next time. See you then.